The name may have changed, but the Dinobot remains the same. Studio Series Leader Class Slug today on World of Stuff. Yep, we have here the robot Triceratops Slug/Slag. Now, I have actually found some precedents that makes the name change make a little more sense rather than just the British pronunciation. Beast Wars, because using slag in that particular series was indeed a form of an explicitive, so there is actually a bit of sense to that, as much sense as there can be in this circumstance. But here's Slug, here's Daniel. Here's Daniel Spread Eagle writing Slug. Okay. Okay. Now as for size comparisons, here we have Fans Project Kubraar. So I finally managed to actually get into a review of this. Come on, guys. Here we have Combiner Wars Slag. I guess it is Slug. And here we have G1 Slag. Yeah, that's a lot of horns. And a lot of different interpretations of that character. And I know for a fact that there is a massive, well, at least 3 or 4 different interpretations other than Fans Project of the Dinobots. Some of which are absolutely massive. But we're not talking about those. We're talking about this one. So let's move on. Oh, but how could I forget Daniel? With his 4 points of articulation, permanent knee bent, and absolutely useless for anything. You can't even tell who it is. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Alrighty, now we can move on to transformation, because that part always has to excite somebody. Anyway, we start by moving the gun. Turn him turtle. Then start folding this up. The back leg, drink. Then we disconnect this part, and then we fold out these sides. There we go. Okay. Fold up the tail. Oop. Fortunately, that part comes back on. Shouldn't come off in the first place, but that's the way it goes. Okay. This is just going ever so well, isn't it? Anyway, one sec. Okay, now we fold these parts forward, like so. Come back up. Bring this part down. Fold out the shoulders without, preferably with everything out of the way. There we go. Okay, those. There we go. Have them get snugly like that. Fold down. Now there is a 2-part to this. Let's see here. Come on. Jeez. Pausing on the transformation a second, we do have this 2-part head where you can have a effect part coming out here. So you can, in fact, have him do that old thing from the movie, which some people are excited for. And if it excites you, there you go. Getting back to it, fold down here. Attempt, okay, there we go, to get the head up. There we go. Okay. Put these parts in, and then that all comes together. Beautiful. Now let's see how far we can actually get this. Okay, that. Okay, that's as good as we're going to get that. Fold out the hands. twist. This is necessary, otherwise it will not go in properly. Of course, it helps if you didn't trim your fingernails prior. Okay. Twist like so. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. Now we have half a transformation going. So we'll then bring up this whole assembly here, and it will, provided it doesn't completely fall apart on me, attach to this part of the ridge right there. Okay, there we are. Gets us as snug as I'm going to get it. Okay. Bring all this down. Fold up. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. Pull out this part. Then you can fold that in. Once you can find out the correct configuration for it. There we go. Then you have the clean leg. This is just turning into a disaster, isn't it? Hopefully you're at least finding it humorous. Okay, put all this back. Again. There we go. Obviously you can see why there's a bit of an issue there. Now, hopefully I can just out do it. Hurting myself, but whatever. Okay. Foot down, twist like so. There we go. Leg should look like that when it's done. Arms down. And there we go. Studio Series Slug, robot mode. Okay, so let's give him his weapon. Very nice. And okay, so fold those back for the ever important Daniel figure. Or not. Up to you. Articulation in robot mode. His head is on a ball joint. So you can get a decent articulation there. Hinge joint for the shoulder. That's ratchet as well. Bicep swivel. Very good elbow joint there. Waist rotation. A little tight on mine, but that's actually a good thing. Means it's not going to, that's not going to fall apart on me at least. Hinge joint for the hips. Thigh swivel. And decent knee. As well as a foot tilt. Let's see how far we can take this. You can do a full Van Damme. How about that? That's got to excite somebody. And so now, and in robot mode, we do see quite the nice representation of the animation model. We know it's the animation model because the head is red as opposed to ebony. We also have a nice Autobot symbol there on what would be the jawline, but it's false, but that's perfectly fine. In fact, here's the Generation 1 figure to give something of an idea here. Now obviously, a lot of people who appreciate the toy version would prefer the ebony head as opposed to the red one, myself included. But we're a little ways off from any third party working on that one. But imagine a third party are also working on a clear Triceratops head as well, as opposed to the gold one. Which will probably be as much as the figure is itself. So, one of those take it or leave it situations. Or invest heavily. Whichever you prefer. Now, additional size comparisons. Here is the Combiner Wars Slug. which ironically does not fall apart nearly as easily as the Studio Series one, but that may just be me and my massive meaty hands. Okay, and we also have Kubraar with the red head. They did have versions of Kubraar with both the red and black head. Apparently it was a crapshoot as to which one you got. I did try to get a black head, an ebony head instead, but no one was able to bite on that one. But in either case, you can also have a Sam Fisher mode for Kubraar here. 2 points if you actually get that reference. Now, as of this moment, there have been no mention of a toy accurate version for this figure. Certainly no selects. So, if you're not getting it, you're not getting it. Otherwise, if you don't mind, if you're a fan of the animation version, especially the movie version, which is what this is based off of anyway, then yeah, this is definitely worth picking up. It's not a bad figure. It's, well, aside from the rather questionable parts that can come off, but that again may just be me. I've seen other reviewers that haven't had that happen to, so I may just be using way too much force on it, which has been an issue that people have mentioned to me, as have my opinions. We're not going to get into that. But yes, this is a nice figure, and since I don't see them doing a chrome or vac metal version anytime soon, thank God. Unless you're going to do a third-party version to really do them how you think you should want them, you're probably better off either sticking with what you got or just skipping them entirely. But again, if you're an animation fan and you like the leader-sized Dinobots, this is a nice one. And since they're doing apparently the entire team, at least as far as the movie went, you're certainly not going to be missing out. Certainly not going to be missing anything, I should say, if you want this figure to go with your Grimlock, your Sludge, and your Swoop. But, again, there have been many different versions. There are many different versions out there. But if you want an official one, that's what you got to work with. Anyway, I am the Deceptiwolf. This has been Studio Series 86 Leader Class Slug. And again, I remind you all, free of mind, free of toys, and screw the Daniel. Good night.